Blockbuster move in the NFL really shakes up the top of the NFC. The Green Bay Packers have landed pass rusher Micah Parsons from the Dallas Cowboys. We'll get into this move, how it affects the San Francisco 49ers and the NFC landscape in 2025 and beyond. News on Jauan Jennings, and Niners unveil some new uniforms. All that more on today's Locked On 49ers.
You are Locked On 49ers, your daily San Francisco 49ers podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On 49ers. Brian Peacock and Eric Crocker at BD Peacock at Coach Crocky. Thanks, everybody, for making us your first listen on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. Love our everydayers. Thanks for hanging with us all off season long. The off season nearly over and ending with a huge bang of a trade on this day. So we'll get into that and how it affects the San Francisco 49ers. I do want to thank everybody for hanging out with us and the new listeners as well. Make sure you're subscribed up on YouTube and everywhere you get your podcast. I mean that. Hit that subscribe button. A lot of the everydayers still aren't even subbed up. So hit that button right now for us. Get that remedied before the season starts. We really appreciate it. Helps us out in the algorithm. And Croc, that brings us to the big news of the day, which of course is black uniforms. No, it's the trade that we got to push the uniforms to the back of the episode.
It was supposed to be the uniforms, but man, I mean, when you got this right, so I saw the just a random kind of update on my phone. I said, that can't be right, and I'm thinking, and I actually cursed. I said, oh heck no, there's no way. And then you go to social media and you check the reliable sources, right? The Adam Schefters or the Ian Rappaport. And I said, well, damn, the Dallas Cowboys really traded Micah Parsons. I can't believe that would be the equivalent of the 49ers. We can't really get a deal done with Nick Bosa, so let's trade Nick Bosa. It's equivalent to that, which seems that would be wild.
To a team that you think you need to get over in the playoffs in your own conference. It's pretty wild. There's multiple reasons why.
Thank you in your house. I mean, thank you too.
By the way, Packers Cowboys week 4 too. So that's a month away, and they're gonna have to play that guy. You think he'll be hyped up for that one? Wow. So a lot of angles in this one. Let's talk about the trade, how it affects the Niners in the NFC, and Nick Bosa's contract starting to look like a bargain. We're talking $47 million per year now for the top edge rushers in the NFL. In fact, Bosa is going to get held out next offseason for 50.
I think every edge rusher's contract is looking like a bargain. Myles Garrett just signed a new contract. And when you look at what Micah Parsons got, that's looking like a bargain. And, the amount per year, they can kind of put out there, whatever. But even his guarantees are super high for the amount of years that he's under.
Well, and we'll see what the numbers actually look like. We know the agents throw the first number out there, and then, in 3 days we'll see like, oh, okay, it's actually this. It's more like 44.5 million. And then some of those guarantees are actually just guarantees for injury. So it's actually this amount of guarantees. So we'll find out exactly what that looks like. No doubt there's going to be some void years, and the Packers aren't going to be paying Micah Parsons $47 million per year of their salary cap. But they would be the first team in NFL history to have $100 million on 2 players, Jordan Love and Micah Parsons, on a yearly salary. But we know it doesn't go that way as far as the salary cap goes. But let's talk about the trade. 2 first-rounders and Kenny Clark for Micah Parsons. I have my thoughts on it.
Clark as well he's a good football player too.
He's a good player, but in this mix, not a huge value for what you're getting back in return. I think the 2 firsts is the biggest piece. Probably late firsts, right? You would assume the Cowboys are going to be a pretty good team. They were already a team that they won 11 games last year. They're better now.
Yeah, I mean, Green Bay Packers are just a very well-ran organization. So even in a quote-unquote kind of like down year, there's still a big opportunity for them to win double-digit games. So I mean, 10-7, you're still picking 21st. I mean, and if you're the Dallas Cowboys, who I don't know, I feel like every year I say this, but I don't expect them to be bad. I mean, I guess you'll have 2 picks around the 20th overall pick.
I mean, 25 28. If the Cowboys win a playoff game, you're talking mid-20s, right? Division round, 27, 28. Start getting to the NFC Championship game, you're just talking about big 30, right? And so let's say the Cowboys are they're in the division round in the playoffs, or the Packers are in the division round playoffs. That means that even if you add those two picks together, looking at the draft trade chart, you couldn't even trade the two picks together to barely get up to pick number 12, where the Cowboys picked Micah Parsons in the first place. So that's where, to me, and by the way, who owned originally the 12th pick in the 2021 draft where Micah Parsons was selected?
Team by the name of San Francisco 49ers.
It all comes back to the San Francisco 49ers. They allowed all of this to happen with the trade up for Trey Lance. And the Trey Lance trade, those picks ended up being pick 29 overall. Pick 29 overall in that 2022 draft, the Niners traded away. What did that pick end up being? Well, it went from Miami to KC for Tyreek Hill, and then KC traded up with the Patriots in the draft to get like either McDuffie or George Karlaftis. I can't remember. And so the Patriots ended up with the pick. Who'd the Patriots draft? Cole Strange, and then ended up just cutting it. So like if the Cowboys end up with, Cole Strange and then somebody else with those two picks, but maybe they parlay it into a Tyreek Hill, right? There's a lot of ways it could go with those draft picks. But all that is to say, for the Dallas Cowboys, the insanity of it to me, okay, Jerry Jones, you are upset with the agent. You're upset with Micah Parsons. You don't want to do the deal. Fine. Wait. He's under contract. Let him hold out. You can't spend that first round pick until next April anyway. So wait. Let him sit out. Save some money if you want to save some money, because he'll be fined, right? Because he wouldn't be playing games. Or he plays, balls out, then you tag and you trade him when you have all these teams vying for him in the offseason next March, and then you have an opportunity to know what pick you're getting this year from that team, and you probably get a lot better haul and a lot better picks, and you build your team appropriately. So all around, I don't get it. It does make the Green Bay Packers a lot better, though.
There are a couple things that have definitely come up for me. All right. One of them is Crocky, is your brother crying? So for those of you who know, been listening for a long time, I have a big brother, Brian, and he's a huge Dallas Cowboy fan. And I've been busy with my, coaching and we had pregame meals and all that good stuff. So I haven't been able to just really talk to him, but I've checked in a little bit in the group chat, and I don't think my big brother's crying, but he's kind of in that phase of trying to talk himself into liking it. Like he's trying to, oh no, I'm fine. Like, okay, we're going to be good down the line for this, because Jerry Jones said that. Like Jerry Jones was like, oh, we're going to be better in the future for this. And my brother's trying to buy into that. But there's no way that I would be excited about the 49ers trading Nick Bosa away. And I don't think there's a way that my brother is excited about the Cowboys trading Micah Parsons away. I think a lot of times with trades like this, the fan base tries to see the positives in it, but they just got rid of a blue chipper. I don't care what anybody says about him. The 49ers are likely going to have to see him in the postseason. He's a guy that definitely can change games. And obviously he hasn't had the best games against the 49ers, but I've watched enough Dallas Cowboy games to kind of know what his impact definitely can be at any given time. So that's something that has definitely come up, and I've been asked about a lot on my timeline. But the other thing I've seen, they're going to package them up for Arch Manning. And they did kind of put the Cowboys at a very unique spot to now be able to utilize more first-round picks. So even if you are pick 20 and 25, all right, I'll give you those two, and I'll give you, my first-round pick next year. And, so essentially you package up 3 first-round picks and still would have 1 first-round pick the following year. So I could see something like that happening, but it took 49ers 3 first-round picks to go from 12 to number 3.
Right.
It might be a little pricier to go from 20 and 25 all the way up to potentially
the Cowboys have to be really bad. And then the other part of that is they just paid Dak Prescott. So I don't think they'd be in the market to draft a quarterback anyway.
Did they? Why am I blanking on?
They just re-upped him. Remember, it was last offseason, the day the season started.
Oh, yep.
That's why I thought this Parsons thing was going to get done, because the CeeDee Lamb thing was the last week. Dak Prescott redid his deal the day the season started. They finally got that deal finished. And so that's why I was a little shocked that they weren't able to figure this out, because usually these deals end up getting done and the trades, cooler heads prevail and the trades don't get end up happening. And Arch Manning might not even be in this draft, by the way. It might be an okay quarterback draft, but he might not even come out this year. So I don't know if they would actually be in the market for that quarterback. To me, it's that the Family Guy meme where it's like, oh man, I love Micah Parsons, but this mystery box could be anything. It could even be Micah Parsons, right? Like, you're going to end up drafting a worse edge rusher with one of those first round picks, right? So really, you're just getting an extra first round pick. I know there's money to it. Let's talk a little bit more about this. I want to talk about the NFC, what this does for the Packers, where the 49ers are in the NFC, and let's talk rivalry uniforms as well, because we've been getting asked about it, Croc. Next. Today's episode of Locked On 49ers brought to you by Upside. Are you still paying full price for gas? Stop leaving money behind. Get real cash back every time you fill up with free Upside app. Simply download the free Upside app in the App Store or Google Play right now and start earning cash at the pump today. Use our limited time promo code TOUCHDOWN and get an extra 25 cents back per gallon on your first fill up. You could make up to $300 a year just by buying the gas you already needed. At first, I thought it was too good to be true. I've had Upside for a while. They've been a long-time sponsor of the podcast, and I've had this for years, and it's just free money back when you go get gas, which you're already going to get anyway. Plus, you can cash out anytime to your bank account, PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. So don't let this offer drive on by. Download the free Upside app now and use our limited time promo code TOUCHDOWN for a limited time 25 cent per gallon bonus. That's promo code TOUCHDOWN. Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions. This episode is also brought to you by Gametime. The NFL season is back, and honestly, there's nothing better than being at the stadium surrounded by fans cheering on your team. It's about that time now. See a lot of red and gold in the stands. See a lot of black in the stands, I have a feeling, this year as well. And getting tickets can be a hassle between queues, login screens, and prices jumping at checkout. It's frustrating. That's why I use Gametime. If you're a sports fan, if you ever go to concerts or comedy shows, you got to have Gametime in your pocket. Download it now and always check Gametime before you get tickets, because the app gives you a huge advantage and gives that advantage back to fans. Gametime is fast, easy, backed by the Gametime guarantee. You always get 100% authentic tickets delivered on time at the best price. Plus, all fees are included, so the price you see is the price you pay, and get some phenomenal last-minute deals. So download the Gametime app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, that's promo code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download Gametime today. So I said this, and some people think it's hyperbolic, Croc, that I'm going a little too far, saying that the trade for the Packers, the Packers trading for Micah Parsons, is the biggest swing of any singular player could have in the NFL besides the top four quarterbacks in the AFC. That's Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow. Micah Parsons is the next most impactful player that you could possibly even get in this league right now as the best pass rusher in the NFL at 26 years old, entering his prime. Did I go too far there?
I don't think so. Now, I also think the world of like just his ability and what he does and the versatility. And when he's on, I mean, it's just nothing you can do when he's exploding off of that edge. Just an extremely explosive edge rusher. Those guys don't become available. Like, they just don't. Like, when we talked about Nick Bosa and getting his deal done, there was just never a doubt that they would get it done, because you don't let those guys go for any price. And I mean, the Cowboys, I mean, you get 2 first-round picks back. So, that's nice. But like you said, it's a mystery box. you can package 3 or 4 first-round picks. Are you going to get the equivalent of the impact that he makes for you? And the fact that and now this I don't think would be the 49ers, right? To say, you know what, we're going to pay a quarterback, which you have to pay that, but we're going to pay this receiver a ton of money, and we're not going to pay edge rusher. I think 49ers believe in building in the trenches, and there's no way that they would jeopardize signing anyone and not being able to get something done for Nick Bosa. I think that's where the Cowboys are kind of flawed a little bit with some of their logic.
No doubt. If you were going to do
the Niner faithful says this is the Packers' new Reggie White trade.
Yeah.
And, that was a big one, getting him from the Philadelphia Eagles back in the day?
Eagles, yeah, and the Eagles never won with Reggie White either. And that's what a lot of pushback is. Well, if he's so great, why didn't the Cowboys win with Micah Parsons? Well, they didn't have as good of a football team. He went to the Packers. Now, is Jordan Love Brett Favre? I don't know. I don't know if it's going to end in a Super Bowl, right? But I think it definitely swings the tide in the NFC for sure. And if it's not the Reggie White trade, it's better than the Khalil Mack trade because, first of all, it cost less. And the Bears traded for Khalil Mack and had Mitch Trubisky as their quarterback, right? And they still won 12 games. You know what? My guy, Dwayne Board, 4-time NFL champion. All those with the 49ers, 3 as a player, 1 as a coach. He knows a thing or two about winning football, and he saw one of these trades happen while he was with the 49ers. I think it's most reminiscent of the Charles Haley trade. Except for this player is leaving the Cowboys instead of going to the Cowboys.
It feels a lot like that. And personality-wise, Micah Parsons is not as strong. I mean, you just don't have guys that were like Charles Haley in today's day and age. But just a strong personality in the locker room. And I think Micah Parsons is that. Whether it's with his podcast stuff, and he's very opinionated, so again, it's not Charles Haley, but just Haley in a different way to where, they're just, I don't even want to say baggage, but just kind of this new generation of social media and branding, self-branding that comes along with it, but a ton of ability as well.
And don't forget, the Cowboys hadn't won yet until Charles Haley showed up. In fact, the Niners chose to send him there instead of Minnesota because they thought that was more of their rival at the time.
Yeah. Well, now the 49ers are going to have to deal with, they're going to have to deal with them in Green Bay. Like the 49ers are going to have to see Green Bay. But again, and we've said it, the 49ers have done a terrific job on Micah Parsons while he was with the Dallas Cowboys. Now, we have to check that out. Let me pull up the whole Google machine right now and go to the Green Bay Packers depth chart and see like who's rushing alongside, because I'm drawing a blank right now. All right. So they actually already, I knew this other guy. I didn't know he was still there, but they actually already have Micah Parsons as the right defensive end for the Green Bay Packers. If you go to ESPN and go to the depth chart, on the opposite side, they have Rashawn Gary. Yeah, Rashawn Gary, he's the guy that, he hasn't been a big sack guy, throughout his career. He had the 1 year in 2021, 9.5 sacks. Last season, solid 7.5 sacks. All right, so and he's playing 17 games. I think most importantly that's a big thing there. So not the double-digit sack guy to go along with Micah Parsons, but I could see how they're saying, well, we think adding a Micah Parsons adds 3 to 4 sacks to a guy like Rashawn Gary playing opposite him. So that's a way to look at it as well. How much better does he make everybody around him? Like if he were traded to the 49ers and it's like, oh, you got Parsons on one side, Bosa on the other. Now you're thinking, well, that should take away some of the attention that's given to guys like Nick Bosa. Why was the 49ers defensive line so good in 2019? Well, you can focus on one singular guy. It's like, well, they got this kid, Nick Bosa, who's a rookie. He's dominating. Oh, but by the way, they got an all-pro guy by the name of DeForest Buckner. And, oh, by the way, Eric Armstead, he's going to chip in with double-digit sacks in the season. Oh, and there's a guy, D Ford, when he's out there, he's bending around the edge. You can just focus on one singular guy, and it feels like maybe that's what Green Bay is trying to do.
And by the way, I apologize, folks. When I keep my screen keeps going black. I think I got some computer issues. I hope this thing isn't completely dying on me. So hopefully I make it through the rest of this podcast because my screen just go black for no reason right now. But it's live, so the show goes on. But you brought up DeForest Buckner. It's a perfect example of, okay, it's nice to get a draft pick, but man, you trade away a star player, and Buckner was not even on Micah Parsons' level. You better hit on those draft picks because that could set you back. If you don't, you come back thinking, man, we should have just paid the money because we didn't hit on those guys. And so, yeah, it's fascinating. Next, Croc, let's talk about where the 49ers are in the NFC. If this vaults the Packers to the top of the NFC, Jauan Jennings wants reportedly $20 million per year. And let's talk rivalry, all black uniforms that were unveiled today, and tons of uniforms unveiled for rivalry games around the NFL. We'll get to it next. Today's episode of Locked On 49ers brought to you by PrizePicks. NFL season is here, and PrizePicks is the DFS daily fantasy platform that lets you turn your football predictions into real rewards. Preseason is already done. Regular season a week away. College football happening. Croc's keeping an eye on it right now, whether you got your eye on a big game, big quarterback, breakout running back. PrizePicks makes it easy to get in the game, and there is a max discount. And man, this one looks even better. I know it's only a half yard, but Dak Prescott's gonna be chucking it this year. And a max discount on PrizePicks next week is Dak Prescott Thursday night opener against the Philadelphia Eagles. 0.5 pass yards. All you got to do, beat a half a passing yard, and you get that first prize pick hit with Dak Prescott on Monday Night Football. Flex pay option is a total game changer. Even when your picks miss, you can still double your money. So download the PrizePicks app today and use code LOCKEDONNFL to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONNFL to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 play. PrizePicks, run your game. And I got great news for you folks. My new favorite jeans, you can get them now in San Francisco. Doer. That's right. My favorite jeanswear brand, Doer, is opening a brand new store in San Francisco Friday. If you're listening to this, might be already open if you're listening to this on Friday. So head down to Hayes Valley, and the timing couldn't be better because Doer is opening a brand new store in time for the season. Get your fit ready. Maybe get some black jeans to go with your new black jersey, right? Hayes Valley, August 29th, new store Friday opens. And let me tell you why it's worth making the trip for some Doer jeans, because, man, they have 5 times the stretch of traditional denim. I've been living in my performance denim. They feel fantastic. They look amazing. And they got the Cool Max technology. Let me tell you about Cool Max. Regulates your temperature and wicks away moisture. So it's perfect for those unpredictable San Francisco days. Wear it from day into the evening and feel great and look great doing it. By the way, I love the shirt pocket tee I got from Doer as well. So find it all at Doer, combining classic jeanswear style with the comfort and performance of athletic wear without sacrificing style. And Doer will be opening a brand new store in Hayes Valley, August 29th. So head on over to 567 Hayes Street and mention our code LOCKEDONSF in store for 15% off. Or you could go to shopdoer.com/LockedOnSF. That's Doer, D-U-E-R, for 15% off online. Trust me, once you try them, you'll never want to wear anything else.
And you talked about college football being on. This Nebraska-Cincinnati game is kind of good. Got a good little game going.
We got like Ohio State, Texas, right? Speaking of Arch Manning, the March for Arch is on.
So listen, I coach in a high school football game Friday night. And Saturday we have our active recovery day. For whatever reason, Ohio State and Texas are playing at 9 a.m. So I'm trying to figure out, okay, how can we work this out to get our active recovery in and get my guys rehab or treatment, but also watch this Texas-Ohio State game?
Do they have, it's at a high school, right? You got to have one of those big metal shelves on wheels with the tube television on top with the straps holding it down that you can wheel in wherever you need to around the field, around the facility. And plug it in and maybe get the game on. I don't know if they still have those. Do they still do the TV on top of the cart?
No, they have the TV now, and I have one in my office. It's huge. It might be 100-inch TV and you can like touch it. It's like touch screen, and you could draw plays on it, and you could watch YouTube on. It's like kind of like does everything.
Okay.
It's pretty cool, actually.
Well, there you go. You're set. Do a little active recovery while you're watching college football on Saturday. I like it. Let's talk. So just real quick, wrapping up the Packers, and this is a huge trade, so we got to talk about it. Where are the 49ers in your power rankings in the NFC? And does this vault the Green Bay Packers to the top? I would put them at least top 2 with the Philadelphia Eagles, and for sure now, because I think the Detroit Lions took a step back this offseason while the Packers took a step up. So I'd have the Lions for sure behind the Packers. Maybe the Packers ahead of the Philadelphia Eagles now. I think that this is a big deal, Croc.
It's hard to put the Green Bay Packers over the defending Super Bowl champions, but there is a lot to like right now. One key thing, Jordan Love just has to be healthy throughout the season. That kind of like his injury kind of derailed at least what he was or how he was viewed, at least for me. But they got some other good stuff, man. Josh Jacobs, running back, he played very well last year. They drafted Matthew Golden, and he's a speedster. They were able to hold on to Romeo Doubs, and they still have some younger guys, but I do think they kind of bolstered up on the defensive side a little bit, being able to get Micah Parsons to go with Quay Walker and the Edge Cooper. So, yeah, got some good stuff going on, but I over the 49ers.
I mean, on paper, the Packers are a better football team. They were kind of like one star away, really. And Williamson and I talked about on Peacock and Williamson. We're like, man, the Packers are really good, but where's that closer? Where's that player? Like, big game, you need a big play. Is it Jordan Love? Is it going to be Matthew Golden? Like, who's that guy? They went out and they got that guy. And one of the questions was kind of the secondary. They got rid of Jair Alexander, right? But you know what makes the secondary a lot better? Big time pass rush. And the Packers could probably still now, they might think and be more willing to listen to offers, maybe trade one of their wide receivers, maybe trade someone like, maybe trade Gary, trade Lucas Van Ness, one of their other defensive linemen to get a few picks back to try to ease the pain of what they had to give up to get Micah Parsons. By the way, you mentioned Edgerrin Cooper. He's one of the best young linebackers in the NFL. They got Packers got some dudes in a lot of places on that football team.
Bo Melton. That was the receiver, right?
Receiver. He's been playing corner because they got so many receivers.
Yeah, he's listed as a cornerback right now. So
his brother's second corner. Yeah. All right, my screen's going to turn black again. $20 million per year for Jauan Jennings. Croc, your thoughts?
Yeah, just in case his screen goes, I'll take over for this. That number just sounds nuts to me. I mean, it's 20 years for Jauan Jennings, and I like Jauan Jennings. And we've talked about how I do think he exemplifies what Kyle Shanahan wants in his players and the team. Somebody that's gritty. He's a more than willing blocker. He's a guy that does all the dirty work, and I don't think he's really tripping off of, not getting the most targets. But I just have a very difficult time giving him that kind of contract with what his use is. I had a hard time giving Brandon Ayuk that contract. Like, I would not have paid Brandon Ayuk. Not in the 49ers offense. Just would not have done it. And I love Brandon Ayuk. And I think he's a high volume guy, but I just didn't see it for the 49ers offense. And we talked about this a lot. People are like, Croc, keep talking about usage. Yes, I just wouldn't have done it. I'm definitely not doing it for Jauan Jennings. And I like Jauan Jennings. But we talked about Kendrick Bourne coming back to the 49ers, right? Them just like somewhat interested. Give me Kendrick Bourne for 2.5 a year over Jauan Jennings for 20. If Jauan Jennings maybe was just more super dynamic player and all that cool, but he's almost like, we talked about, man, like with the fifth option, like what option is he, if everybody's healthy? First of all, he's not even healthy right now. But if everyone were healthy, you're still going Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk when he's healthy, Ricky Pearsall, and then you get to like Jauan Jennings as the fifth option. And to pay that $20 million, inflation or not, Ian Sharp in the chat says inflation. I don't give a damn about inflation with this one. I'll throw somebody else in the slot, or I'll go get me a cheap veteran. I'll go with Russell Gage in the slot and say, hey, catch a few outs and just block your butt off.
Yeah.
You do miss that mindset. I feel like he is a tone setter. He does an amazing job of getting underneath defensive skin. but I just can't put $20 million on that value.
No, he's a really good number 3. If you pay him like a number 3, you're good. You can't go to $20 million a year. If he wants that, he's gonna have to ball out this year and get it from another football team. I think that's where the 49ers are. And you can tell John Lynch he might have been a little tired. He probably didn't sleep at all with the waiver wire and making calls and figuring out the 49ers roster and then talking about the Jauan Jennings situation. He didn't seem too happy about it the other day. But 20 million, I mean, you can't do it. You can't do it for where he would be in your offense when everyone's back and healthy, just because you need a guy for right now. I don't think you can do it. And, good on him for asking, but he can't have it. All right, Croc, what's the verdict? Rivalry uniforms. The All Blacks got a little gold trim on them this time around, unlike the All Blacks from 20 years ago. What do you think? Are you in or out on the new alt uniforms for those folks living in a cave? I'm sure everyone's seen them, but I'll put it on the screen for those who haven't seen them. To be honest with you, Croc, can I start here? I think we're burying the lead if we don't talk about the helmet. I almost don't care. I didn't realize there was going to be a black helmet. This is the first time in our lives it's not been a gold helmet. I think that's the biggest deal of all of this. This is the first time going alt helmet. The Niners are going with the black helmet to seal the entire look.
There's something about the gold face mask that I don't know. It matches, but something about it that I'm just like, Now, I don't know. The gold face mask, it's just odd because there's not a lot of gold on the helmet. It's a black helmet with red stripes. The logo has a little bit of gold in there. The gold on the face mask, I feel like is very overpowering. Is that the word for something I feel like that shouldn't be?
Yeah, it seems thrown in. It seems extra. It makes it gaudy, and I think that's what happens with the extra border on the jerseys too. And we talked about this before they came out. And to pull back the curtain a little bit, we saw the leaked uniform.
We knew.
Well,
we didn't know what the helmets look like.
We didn't know the helmets were going to be part of it. Yeah,
we saw the rest of the uniforms, and and we tried to we tried to do an episode as if we didn't know what the uniforms look like, but we knew exactly what they're.
We weren't 100% sure that was really them. We thought it was, but we just wanted to wait and see if they were the actual ones. And the picture we saw immediately, I was like, these look like swap meet knockoffs. These look terrible. I think it's a little extra. The saloon font, maybe, I think there's a such thing as maybe going too much. Like, I get the saloon font, but then you go saloon font, then there's the helmet font that's a different font than that right above it. And I think there's too much gold. Not only is there a gold border, but then there's like the 3D shadow as well. It just looks like something that you would see at a fake knockoff store of them trying to make a 49ers jersey. That was my initial look. Now they've got it all prettied up and they've got all the effects in these cameras and in the videos in the release. It looks a little bit better in some cases. I think the single digit numbers look a little better just because there's less. But for me, it's not super clean. Less is more. A lot going on. Feels like they just threw too much on it. Not a huge fan, Croc, but it's for a game, so who really cares?
It's for one game. I'm all for a change up. Again, we didn't know because of the picture that we saw, like the angle of it, the head was missing. So to see that they got the black helmet, I think that it adds a little something to it. I really loved the way it looked on Diamador Lenore. And I was like, oh, this looks really good. But then when I looked at the full picture with other guys, I'm like, it's okay. Like, it's cool. It's cool for a change up. Now, where they I don't want to say they lost me, but did you see Buffalo? Like, that looks sweet.
Dude, the Cardinals one, at first I saw the Cardinals and I was like, dude, I like that. It's kind of all white. Then I saw the close up and there's like spots all over it. And I'm like, and I'm almost like, I've never really seen anything like that, and I kind of respect it, but it's weird. It's like, I don't know if it's clay or mud, whatever it was they're calling it, like with the specs.
Yeah,
it's really weird. It's not terrible, to be honest with you, but it's also, I could see some people really hating that one. Niners are kind of in the middle of the road, I think, on theirs. I don't love it. Not the best, not the worst, but so obviously the Nike was doing their thing. It's blacks and whites. They're a lot of all whites, a lot of all black uniforms. I think that was the theme. And
Buffalo. Out of the ones that I've seen that I can recall, theirs look sweet. And maybe it was just Josh Allen, and I'm looking at him, but
it's clean, and
it's like all white. It felt like it gave like a ghost white look, but they had like the hint with the blue. I mean, I thought it was sweet.
Yeah, no, I agree. Those look good for some alternate uniforms for sure. And let's just be honest about what all this is it's a money grab, right, from the league and Nike and trying to sell you some stuff. So hey, if you like it, go cop yourself a jersey. Won't be me.
I saw a Deebo Samuel jersey at Burlington Coat Factory, and I almost got it. I'm not a jersey person, but it was the number one. It's on sale for $40.
See, I think if you go Deebo, you got to go 19.
Yeah,
that was the better Deebo.
That was the better Deebo.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for making us your first listen. Make sure you subbed up on YouTube and everywhere you listen to your podcasts. And Croc and I back next time, breaking down everything going on. Next time we speak, it will be NFL Week 1. Talk to you then. Locked On 49ers.